Amazing. Rocky, I want to see you.
I really don't think they flew 90 billion light years to start a fight.
Sunset chill days so long gone, can't bring them back, no magic wand. Counting white cotton clouds, fading on the blue sky's shroud. And yet somehow that way is baked with eternal hopeful flair. Pineapple pizza, Hawaiian ice freeze, yeah. Can't wait to be up 3 days of you and me. I'm sailing. I'm sailing. I just can't wait for 3 days of you and me.
He's been cited by Forbes, The Wall Street Journal, Benny Johnson, Timcast, Dr. Jordan Peterson, and even the U.S. government.
But soon they'll wake up to see the summer sizzle in me.
We're doomed. Will this never end?
Dire wolves back and so are you.
Oh yeah,
Belvedere flying over the moon.
oh yeah.
And everyone's singing just the right tune. Maestro blasting on the jazz flute.
We are all participating in mandatory fun activities.
Jelly bean bonus, every flavor in the bag. Super movie star, but first gotta join SAG.
Keep our eyes open.
Wunderkind, super friend, where are you? Get a search warrant for the near clear blue.
It's scooping time.
And can't you believe that? We've been waiting on you, can't you see that? Put away the bad things they said to you.
You are a sad, strange little man. You have my
After all, just have to call and say you're some kind of
Because you are the special.
epic. Epic, yeah, that's what you do. I'm talking about epic, it's all you know how to do.
You wake up blue to
Epic, it's on repeat for you. Oh, epic. Epic.
Hear ye, come on, to the never stopping daily strife, and it's called simpler times, they beckon so, floating on the water with no phone. Can we get away now, find a way now, somehow step out of this stream into a dream of slow it down. Jay says that he remembers a place before the never, ever, ever river severed our tranquility. Counting cars by Highway 30, sitting in the porch swing, guessing colors so poorly. Yeah. Is the next one a blue or red one? Maybe silver, maybe gray. What a way to spend a day.
Ladies
and gentlemen, it's the WDW Pro Show!
Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo, indeed. Lauren Connor is here with us. And folks, I know some of you had a hard time finding this one. Why? Well, Space Cowgirl says, hello, all. Happy hump day. Had to scroll YouTube tonight as didn't see it on my feed. We don't know what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. We don't know the why of it, but we are just now topping 200 on YouTube, and we know that's very, very low for how we typically start the show, but that's A-okay because that means, ladies and gentlemen, folks are working hard to find us, and that is a good feeling indeed. Lauren Connor, we get more for the panel in just a minute, but sir, you're a little bit lower than usual. The camera's a little bit, you're stooped down. What's going on? What's going on with you? You trying to hide how much you got to shave?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What are you talking about, Willis? Lauren, let's talk about this for a minute. You suggested to the audience that if they committed a certain amount of money, you would commit to shaving your head. And the audience came through. Packing Protons, others.
That point is still under protest, but I'm being a good guy.
Okay. So when are we going to do it, Lauren? When are we going to shave your head?
I don't know. You were saying you wanted to make some kind of event for it. So
yeah, charity. A charity.
Yeah, so I don't know how you want to do this. I don't know. I did not imagine this was going to be broadcasted in kind of
for the world.
But
near and far, Lauren.
Yeah.
Near and far. Can you imagine the thumbnail we're going to do for this? Mark Fields for $1.99. Good evening. All positive vibes to you. Positive vibes to you too, Mark Fields, and thank you for another $4.99. Did anybody see the new Killer Tomatoes trailer, and what are your thoughts? I have not seen it yet. I hope it's really good because I don't know why. I don't know if it's because the weird 80s, 90s cartoon, Saturday AM cartoon that was out there, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. I don't know. But I have a fondness for this IP that is unwarranted in every possible way. I recognize it is so stupid, and yet I'm like, give me a good Killer Tomatoes trailer. I would love it. We'll watch it later. Lauren, you seen it?
No. This is news to me. I had no idea there was some kind of a revival of the property going on.
What's wrong with you? Come on.
Now, this one I did hear about.
Kaylee Off for 5 re-looted the movie. Thomas Crown Affair 2027. The content writes itself, culturally appropriating a white man's crimes versus telling the truth. Their truth.
Yeah, it's a reverse Thomas Crown Affair. Did you hear about this?
I had not heard of this.
This is going to be, I think it's either Key or Peele, I think, that is behind the project.
I can't separate the two. I think you without your Peele, you don't have Key. Without your Key, you don't have Peele. That's the way it works.
The gist of it is that the thief is now going to be stealing artifacts from a museum and repatriating them to their country of origin.
Well, it's like a artistic Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Maybe Hunter Biden can play the guy. Pastor of Muppets for 5. My wife has not seen the previous Tom Spidey movies. We're passing on Brand New Day and Doomsday. Looking forward to SF.
Street Fighter.
Ebenezer and Godzilla. Gifts in 3, 2, 1. And oh, by golly, the gifts, they have begun. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at that. And do not pay attention to the fact that the background just changed. Folks, we'll get it all fixed, we promise. But Pastor of Muppets, thank you so much for dropping 5 wonderful gifted memberships right off the bat. What a way to start a show.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was heard.
Juliet for 2, morning WDW Pro Panel and Pro Rides. Juliet, what a mod, what a superstar you are here on this channel. And then he's back again for 111 smackerels. 111, ladies and gentlemen. Packing Protons says, Lauren, I think there's a reason for this number. I think this is, while we think about the number. On the advice of my counsel, I respectfully would like to ask Disneyland to turn the water back on so I can use the bathroom under my rights of the Fifth Amendment, not the Fifth Element, Fifth Amendment. Lauren, do you know why this is $111?
I do.
It's all on you, Lauren.
One Dr. Anthony Fauci today invoked his Fifth Amendment right, despite the fact that no such right exists, given the fact that he was issued a pardon, attempted to invoke his Fifth Amendment right 111 times to not answer questions during a congressional hearing this morning.
The science, Lauren. Get it right. The science. You know what? I can't delay this any longer. We got to bring in our friends. They're going to have things to say about this $111 super chat. Culture Casino. LW Ghost. Guys, your thoughts on this one? Packing protons is just too funny.
Did you see what Josh Haley asked him? He said, what's the date? What's the color of the carpet? What color tie are you wearing? And he refused to answer on the grounds that even those answers might tend to incriminate him. I tell you.
The question, and we're going to talk about this. This is actually the first segment coming up. So we're going to save a lot of the conversation about it. But in honor of the $111 super chat, I'll just say a lot of folks out there are still frustrated with Republicans. And I'm hearing this. It's a sentiment that is out there because they say, all right, we've seen the theater of it. Where is the ramification of it? Where is the movement towards holding people actually accountable, not just shaming them with today's version of the stockades?
Well, there are actually some state prosecutors that are going to go after him too. So I think he will pay a price. Not enough, never enough, but a price.
There are two avenues, as I understand it, that they can attempt to get some kind of price out of him, I guess you could say. One is a referral to the Department of Justice for contempt of Congress, which I think they will do for his attempt to invoke the Fifth today. The other is to attack the pardon itself based on the fact that it was issued by AutoPen.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. I hope they actually pursue both. Personally, I think jail isn't a strong enough sentence for what this man did.
I think society is demanding it. And for those out there who want to be Fauci defenders and say, well, nobody knew, and there's a bunch of, paplum, and people are sticking stuff on him that just shouldn't be. This is a man who ran an experiment where they put Beagle, the dog, Beagles, and you guys know I don't like talking about this kind of stuff, but they put Beagle puppies into a container where they could not move, and they let sand fleas eat the puppies alive, and they removed their vocal cords so the beagles could not whine because it annoyed them to listen to the beagles whine. That's what this guy ran as an experiment. So, sorry, I don't feel any sympathy. That's disgusting to me.
Maybe they could use him in an experiment like that.
You never know. You and Cumia, member for 21 months. I prefer the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. A lot of people do.
He was in those movies with Toby Stark.
Speaking of names that don't look right, Shift, Detailing, and Coding. Oh, no. This is our friend, John Maynard.
When a pirate shares his treasure with you, know that it came at a cost, even from the likes of someone such as Captain John Maynard.
Thank you, John. We appreciate you. Patrick Anyway also dropping 5 wonderful memberships. Patrick, that is very kind, and you still semi look like Henry Cavill.
Chemical sunshine, professor says pay no mind.
And then, just when you thought it could not rain generosity anymore, SXS Outcast 7651 dropping 10 WDW Pro memberships. Thank you, one and all.
Every time a membership is gifted, a content creator gets his wings.
Is that gendered language?
We're not at Magic Kingdom, Dad.
And look who's out there. It's Lauren's favorite name. It's the Highlander, baby. And you love Highlander, right? This Highlander, right?
I like this Highlander, sure.
Okay, just making sure. All right, folks, we've got K.A. Noel's, or 2 Noel's, Attack of the Tomatoes versus Killer Clowns from Space. That's a movie I'd go see.
We'll put them together.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Culture. What if instead of them attacking clowns, what if the Killer Tomatoes took on the Killer Kumquats?
I think they have a better time with the potatoes.
Spuds over kumquats?
No, spuds versus tomatoes.
Oh, okay. You're not going for the quats today.
Nah, I mean citrus. They have acid.
That'd be a cool move. Finish him. Ryan Charlton for 10. Pro, if the songs in the intro weren't so catchy and great, I'd probably not enjoy the 5-minute intro to these shows, but I love them. So thank you, sir. I tip my hat to thee. Ryan, I can tell you, we are going to be releasing a video for Counting Cars. People have asked for it. We're going to get a video out for that one, just so people can have it and enjoy it for the rest of the year. We've got There Can Only Be One, a.k.a. the Highlander for 5. Guess who's coming? Guess who's coming to Dallas Fan Expo? Lorne! Christopher Lambert.
Guess who's not going to the Dallas Fan Expo?
The Camel?
Probably not him either.
Patrick Anyway for 5. I remember seeing the original Attack of the Killer Tomatoes back in the late 70s. Don't know why I still remember it.
Catchy tune means a lot.
Also, I'd be a little worried if you saw a movie that was about attacking killer tomatoes and didn't remember it. What kind of stuff have you seen in your life, man?
Packing protons for 2. Disneyland supposedly did not have running water. And there it is, the former home of the backside of water. I've got Jay out there for 2. I'm late. Hello, all from J7. Good to see you. And finally, Gilliam is nobody's punching bag, dropping 5 more gifted memberships, which is great because tomorrow we drop New Genre Guys. Thank you, Gilliam. It's a joy as ever. I'm going to click a button, and there may be a case of you guys going away, but I'll bring you right back. See, I told you. I know this works now. Get back in here, guys. Welcome aboard again. Culture Casino, LW. No, we've already played that. We've already done that. Guys, it is time now for something that's become a bit of a tradition here on the Pro Show. It's time for Click It and Sip It. Lauren, what are we drinking tonight?
Water.
Water. Culture, what is the imbibery?
Water.
Lou, please save us. What are you drinking? And please tell me it's more interesting than water.
It's made of water, but it's beer. It's Yuengling Black and Tan.
Well, I was not expecting that. That would not be the thing that I would have expected LW Ghost to say. He's enjoying, but you enjoyed it.
It's good stuff.
All right, for me, it's matcha. I'm a matcha man tonight, folks. So click the like button and sip along with us. Click like and sip together in 3, 2, 1. And it's lovely. All right, let's get to it, folks. We've got news, and we need to do what we do so well, yap about it, and tell you the truth with a capital T. We dare to do so. The lame stream, going extinct, dinosaur media dares not. But it's hot. Let's talk about Fauci. Folks, what if we told you that Dr. Anthony the Science Fauci, well, he used to say that he was not afraid of anything. He'd go on, he'd speak, he'd give his testimony. From Natalie Winters, Fauci in 2022, I'm very happy to testify before any Congressional Oversight Committee. Here we go from CNN not so long ago.
Well, if I
Whoops, no audio. What?
become a punching bag, but I testify before...
You guys have audio?
Yeah.
Playing it.
Well, if I become a punching bag, I'm a punching bag, but I am very happy to testify before any Congressional Oversight Committee. I have nothing to hide. I can explain and validate everything that I've done. So it's going to be inconvenient if they actually are out there essentially threatening to make my life miserable. But I'm going to do what I need to do, and that is cooperate fully because we have nothing to hide.
Now, this is a very awkward predicament for me because I cannot hear what he said, but everybody else on the panel did. So, Culture, give us a recap on what Fauci is saying on CNN and maybe how things have changed today.
He indicated that he realized that he may become a punching bag, but that he was okay with that because he can answer for everything that he did, every action that he took, et cetera, et cetera. So
he had nothing to hide, he said.
Nothing to hide, exactly.
Just before taking
Not a thing.
the fifth 111 times.
Not a thing. Okay, well now, USA Today, Fauci Senate fiasco isn't over as contempt push prompts legal questions. Zachary Shimmerly for USA Today is writing this one and says Senator Rand Paul's threat to hold Dr. Anthony Fauci in contempt of Congress for stonewalling Senate Republicans during a hearing is already creating a cloud of legal questions. And it goes on to talk about the pardon that was given, preemptive pardon from President Biden, and of course that's going to right, and it's going to draw questions about the auto pin. But folks, we're not a political channel, and we're not a legal channel.
No,
Go ahead.
I think we need to explain the basic procedural issue here, which is
yes,
the pardon was backdated to the very beginning of his realm, but it was only up until the moment that he left. So the reason to get him on there today was to ask him new questions that, if he lied, would not be covered by the pardon. And that's why he answered nothing. However, speaking of contempt, his attorney, who was not recognized and was told to sit in the back row to advise him, came up to the table and started interjecting himself. And finally, Rand Paul told him, "You open mouth one more time, I'm having you removed from the room," and they kicked him out physically.
Gotcha.
So he's in line for contempt of Congress enormously.
Lots of drama, lots of drama. Folks, we are an entertainment channel. And because of that, we're going to cover the Fauci thing from an angle that you may not be hearing anywhere else because everybody else is going to be talking about the political part of this. Let's talk about entertainment. Because on TMZ, Harvey Levine, when the Charlie Kirk thing happened, it was awful the way TMZ responded. You remember them applauding in the background? Well, now he's tearful. He's tearful, maybe fearful for poor the science Dr. Anthony Fauci. And here's why.
YouTube channel to vent personal feelings about issues, but I'm going to do that today. Watching Anthony Fauci before a congressional hearing taking the Fifth Amendment is just one of the most heartbreaking things I have seen in government in my lifetime. And this is something we need to reckon with. That I'm going to say up front, I have problems the way the CDC handled COVID. I think that
Fauci wasn't over the CDC. These people are geniuses.
They did damage to children, to adults, and I don't think they did it maliciously. I think they did it because they were using their judgment and were overprotective.
All right, let's just pause here and say, again, we're not going to weigh in too much, but what's in Fauci's diaries does not match what Fauci told the country. That's why Fauci's in trouble.
And when he says maliciously, according to some of these diaries, he had his assistants, who are also on the government payroll, actively soliciting grants and awards and prizes that paid him hundreds of thousands of dollars. Don't tell me it wasn't malicious when the guy's out to cash in on the thing. Come on, Harvey.
Right, while people die. Okay, here's where we go, though, bigly into entertainment. I mean, the TMZ thing. Why is Harvey crying? Because Fauci was chasing Hollywood, and Hollywood loved being chased and chased right back. This is why they are terrified of what might come back for them. Fox News is reporting on this. Anthony Fauci's Hollywood supporters. We'll get to the celebs in just a second, but read the subtitle here. It says, Fauci's private 2020 journals reveal how A-listers championed his public health guidance as his fame became explosive. Ashley Hume is writing this, and I'm going to tell you, it's way worse than what this says. Because what we really find out is that Anthony Fauci, who was supposed to be chasing down diseases and cures and solutions, etc., was obsessed with celebrities loving him and the fame that he was trying to attract while people were dying. Julia Roberts, Katy Perry, Orlando Bloom were among Dr. Anthony Fauci's biggest celebrity supporters, it says. As the 85-year-old infectious disease expert became the face of America's response to the pandemic, he also attracted an unlikely fan club in Hollywood, including Brad Pitt portraying him on Saturday Night Live at home. While chronicling his management of the spiraling health emergency, Fauci also wrote frequently in his private journals and diaries, where he keeps all his log of what's going on because he's a historic figure. Also wrote frequently of his rapidly rising fame in his private 2020 journals, which were released by Senate Homeland Security Committee Chairman Rand Paul. Quote, "The situation with my national and international fame is explosive and really unimaginable," he wrote. Quote, "It is not hyperbole to say that today I am the most famous and talked about person in the country and one of the most recognizable persons in the world." Fauci also dedicated significant space across numerous entries, not logging about medicine, not logging about saving lives during the pandemic, but logged about his personal interactions with Hollywood A-listers, including Julia Roberts, Barbara Streisand, and Sean Penn. Holy moly. We can go through all this. We can go through Julia Roberts. We can talk about, okay, so Fauci, in a May 2020 diary entry, Fauci wrote about his wonderful discussion with Julia Roberts, who he described as absolutely fabulous, totally down to earth. He also shared that he was embarrassed when she told him that he was her personal hero. Folks, every waking minute of this man's day should have been dedicated to saving lives, stopping the virus, helping develop cures. And instead, in May, who was Dr. Fauci talking to? Was it other experts in other countries? He was spending time talking to Julia Roberts, having a wonderful discussion with Julia Roberts. Absolutely fabulous. In May of 2020. Kim Kardashian. Here you go. Here's a quote from Fauci. It was a whole bunch of movie stars and some sports figures, and they wanted to know about what they could do to stay safe, about wearing masks and avoiding crowds. I was impressed by the questions they asked, by their level of sophistication. He says, each of them has enormous numbers of followers on their social media accounts. I could say to them, for example, it's important to wear a mask, and they get on their accounts and say, wear a mask, and it goes out to an additional couple of million of people. Talking about spending time with Kim Kardashian, who he shared a private Zoom call with. And it goes on and on. Katy Perry, Orlando Bloom, Jennifer Garner.
The one with Streisand. Is that in this article?
Let's check and see.
Oh, God, I was reading the one with Streisand about how he played her music over the phone from his iPad to her, and she was so excited that he was listening to her music. And my God.
Not in this one, but it's amazing because rather than fighting the virus, rather than talking about its origins, Dr. Fauci was writing all the time about how much he loved interacting with celebrities.
On our dime.
I cannot think of
collecting our salary.
Yeah, Lauren, I can't think of a more serious time in the country's history outside of things like World War II. And what we're finding out is this is a very unserious man at best and maybe sinister man. Your thoughts, Lauren?
I have very strong feelings about Fauci. And I hope people won't think I'm overstating this. I view him as a modern-day Joseph Mengele. I think this is a man who jail is too good for. Because leave aside the diary. Let's pretend for a moment that we didn't have that. Let's say we took him at his word that we were all trying to figure out what was going on at the time and that they were overcautious and they had all these lockdowns and all of this stuff. This is a man who declared himself the science. And decided that he was the arbiter of all things that people should be doing to keep everybody else safe. This was a man who told people that fear was the best way to get people in line. This was a person that told you it was okay to demonize your neighbors, that it was okay to take away their jobs, that it was okay to separate people from their loved ones. That's before you consider all of the things with the vaccines themselves. When you consider that the vaccine producers were given immunity from prosecution for any side effects that may occur, that they made billions upon billions of dollars by prescribing these things. There was a giant financial incentive for this entire thing to go on. Let's forget all of that stuff too.
Okay. Poof, gone. It's like sheep detectives. Gone. All right. What should we remember, Lauren?
When you declare that you are the science and you've gone through something like this and you get this spectacularly badly, what happens the next time we have a real disease come through?
Yeah.
We cannot trust these people anymore. We have no way now to determine whether the people in power are trustworthy. One of the things that people ask about World War II is, how in the world did the German populace not understand what was going on? Why? Why did they become informers? Why did they collaborate with the people that were running the Nazi government? Well, we had an example of that here just 5 years ago, and an enormous number of our friends and neighbors failed the test.
Big time.
They were all too happy to go along with a government that told them what to do because it made them feel superior and righteous. That is a very scary thing. But it's a good thing that we had it as an example, because now we know. Now we know how easy it is to subvert a population when they get a little tiny taste of power. This man is a face of it, and in my opinion, the consequences need to be the most severe for him to make sure that whoever comes next understands the consequences of getting something this badly because of their own personal ambition.
That's extremely well said, and I appreciate everything you've just given to the conversation,
I endorse
Lauren.
every word of what you just
That's
said.
right. Lou, let me toss you, I hope, what is an interesting launching point to even more on this conversation. Fauci, at the time this was happening, would have been 79, 80 years old at the time that the pandemic is happening. Now, having access to his diary, Lou, this man who would have been 79 and 80 years old, and should have been one of the most formidable minds when it comes to viruses and pandemics and what to do, was using his diary in the height of like people dying, nursing homes being wiped out, people dying alone. This guy, 79 years old, Lou, was writing like a 16-year-old high school girl who just got to meet, a K-pop band. This guy was writing about how much celebrities, were noticing him. Lou, what that seems so psychologically strange to me that somebody of that age would care if a 25-year-old movie star was talking about him.
I agree, but we have to remember the core of this is he didn't want to get caught because he was responsible for this happening by virtue of him funding this lab and sharing with them things that should never have been shared. He was getting paid to break the law. After that, the rest of it was momentum, and the rest of it was hubris and all the other things we can say. But this guy was a crook, and he tried to make being a crook a virtue by virtue of his fame. And it doesn't work that way in the real world, kid.
Well, culture.
But again, this is a guy who lived his entire life within the bureaucracy. Okay. Yeah. He was involved with AIDS. He was involved with the flu virus, all these other things. And he said, well, I can channel this money. I can control it. Even if it isn't mine, it's the government's money. I can aim it places and people will like me if I aim it to them and don't aim it to their competitors. That's the kind of venal crook he is. And I'm afraid to say it, but I think the government to some degree or another is full of people like this.
I think you're right. Culture, this is a level of psychological derangement that is hard to comprehend. This is a man who, as Lou was just saying, should have been deeply worried. Because now we know from the diaries, he was writing something completely different than what he was saying. He acknowledges in the diaries, this did not come from the market. This comes from, a place near the market that's still on YouTube. I'm going to be careful not to say, which is crazy that we're still in that situation, but I'll be careful here. So culture, he should have been panicked. Any normal human being would have been panicked thinking, oh my gosh, as Lou said, how do I not get caught? And instead, this guy was living on cloud 99 with the idea that he was the most famous person in the world now, that celebrities were calling him. And he's just writing there like, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, Leonardo DiCaprio, Leo just called me. I'm really famous. This is deranged.
Yeah, this reminds me of a book that you can get on Amazon, The Devil and Dr. Fauci. And I agree with the subtitle there, which I think will say it all and basically feed right into what Lauren was saying. This guy is the many various faces of bureaucratic evil. He embodied a unique kind of hubris that only comes around, let's say, every 70, 80 years or so.
So, Coach, I actually think he's sociopathic. And I don't throw that word around easily, but I don't know how, like, if I knew that people were dying and, alone and you've got devastation at this kind of level, like, I don't think I could sleep at night. I would be working 18 hours a day and crashing at my desk, and getting up and saying, what can I do to save people? And this guy is writing like, oh man, Barbara Streisand really likes me.
Yeah, I really can't say anything other than what I've said, which is he's sociopathic enough to be a politician. And I think that's the problem. Is he was more a politician than he ever was a legitimate medical doctor. And also think about how compromised the relationship was between the various health organizations, since he was married to the woman that made the other side of the decision making process. This was an imbalance, conflict of interest, and various other things that you want to throw at it. But he's been involved in nothing but evil in his entire career. And people, you can go about, being trying to be an apologist for him, but you're gonna be hard pressed to convince people that this man wasn't the very essence of evil. Well, and this guy is another one. So there's two of them.
Right. You remember they cheered in the background when Charlie Kirk. But anyway, Lauren, I want to get you for the last word, but I want to play just a little bit more of this because I will say there are not many celebrities coming out and defending this any longer. And I worry, folks, I don't know if you can see this. I worry, what the heck is going on with Harvey? We have medicine bottles, like prescription medicine bottles, and a bottle of Cholula. Lauren, is he downing prescription meds with Cholula? Hang on, I'll play it and we'll talk about it. But
over a period of decades has been an amazing public servant. In the 80s, I had many friends who died of AIDS, a horrible, painful death. And I had friends who lived because of Anthony Fauci, because he was willing to look at experimental drugs in a different way than they had looked at them before. And that really resulted in lives saved.
Interesting.
Oh, really?
Lauren, you're muted. I'll go ahead and click the button, unmute, and rock and roll, man.
Let me just say that if that was a bottle of Cholula, then I hope that those pills were suppositories. I
was going to say touche, Lauren, but it might be pronounced tushy. So
go ahead, Lauren.
I want everybody to remember it's not just Fauci. Fauci gave the excuse. You also need to be paying attention to your state governors. Look at how overjoyed some of these governors were to suddenly be allowed to indulge in every type of dictatorial experiment that they ever could have imagined were. Look at how hard it was to wrest power back from them, to force them to return to normal. Look at how they threatened people's jobs right up until the Supreme Court got involved and said, you can't do this. For those people that were coerced into taking these vaccines, and if you want to take them, if you believe in them, more power to you. But remember, this government attempted to force them upon you and say that you cannot work, you cannot participate in normal life, you are going to be required to put something into your body that you don't know what it is, you don't know what it'll do, it has not been properly tested because we say so. That is demonic.
And if it goes wrong, you can't sue anybody, there is no recourse.
remember those governors that did not defend your rights and hold them accountable if we cannot hold Fauci accountable.
Sometimes you just got to say it's a perfect summation. Folks, we hope we did a good job on that. We're an entertainment channel. I don't want to get into politics, even when it's a big topic. But I hope we did the right thing there and brought to you the craziness of this guy chasing celebrities, like B and C-list celebrities. Oh boy, the Kardashians. Oh, they like me. Oh boy. Dude, what are you doing? We got entire nursing homes going down. All right, folks. Jobs are being lost.
Pro,
yeah, go.
There's a famous saying that Washington and politics are Hollywood for ugly people. Well, I think we crossed the line here.
I think so. All right, here we go, folks. Cherokee Bear for 2. Anne Frank had a better diary than Fauci. Too dark? Anne Frank is a far more moral person than Fauci, I would say. And, obviously. SXS Outcast for 5. Fauci looks like a naked mole rat.
I wouldn't know.
We'll go with that. Retromeister for 10. Evening, gents. In 2021, I gave Fauci the nickname Frauci because he not only ruined lives, but he was no expert in viruses and diseases. Jokingly, Bill Nye is more the science guy compared to Fauci. And yes, Bill Nye is just a common engineer. Not that we hate our engineers. We love our engineers. But Bill Nye, the science guy, is not a scientist. He's an engineer. Who knew? I think a mechanical engineer. Jim Butler for 2. I didn't trust Fauci from the start of COVID. By the way, folks, if you're looking out there and you're saying, I didn't get my notification, why is YouTube not telling me? Why did I have to struggle to get here? I kind of think it's the topic we're covering here. I think the word Fauci right now is probably not a popular word for the YouTube algorithm to promote. So we're glad you're here. And we hope that you'll share this out with folks to say, hey, Pro is on and they're covering the stuff that matters. We've got Jay out there for 5, says, I lost friends because of the pandemic. From disagreements, not the disease. I tried to explain. It didn't add up. And they left.
Yeah.
Probably to the far left. OIO Magic. Member for 15 months. Fauci gained the world but lost his soul. Shameful. Destroyed the world in some ways. Retromeister for 5. Fauci should get the off penalty for crimes against humanity by taking the shots he fearmongered the public to take. Bring back the in-word trials. We'll be careful on that one.
He did take the shot, and he had a heart problem that he never revealed to anybody that may have been a direct cause from it.
So that is a huge thing that's in the diary that came out.
Yeah.
That he took the I don't like calling it that. It's not a vaccine. It's is it a epigenetic altercation? Is that what it is? Culture?
Alteration, yeah.
Alteration. Epigenetic.
It's a therapy.
Yeah, but it's an epigenetic deal. Anyway, leave that. But yeah, so he takes the shot, and in his diary reveals privately that he has a heart infarction. How do we say that, Lou?
Yeah, infarction, right. Myocardial infarction.
Yeah.
Which is a heart attack.
Right. From and closely following the shot, and then never reveals it to the public. Awful.
Worse than never reveals it. People who claimed they were getting that from the shot, he denied.
Right. Retisars for 5. And that's where I go to, like, sociopath. Total sociopath. Retisars for 5. Blame Fauci, but it's only fair to blame Trump for allowing Fauci to run loose like a werewolf. He didn't even fire him when he figured it out. I think that's a fair criticism. I think that it was a very difficult thing to fire. And by the way, who was the lady with the scarves? She's just as crazy too.
Yeah. And the guy was the guy who was making songs up.
Yeah.
Anyway, all of them. But you walk in and those people are there. They weren't appointed by Trump. They weren't part of a vetting process that way. They are in the institution. They are the deep state. They are whatever you want to call it. And would it be great if we all caught on to those people? Well, maybe we will now, and we certainly are in other arenas.
The problem was that the media and Hollywood turned these people into such superstar saints that if the Orange Man had removed Fauci during that time, the media would have been 24/7. He's doomed us all. He's killed us all. He's removed the one man who can save us. Pray for your children. We are all going down. Like, that would have been wall-to-wall coverage. Now, should he have fired him on a purely technical standpoint? You bet. Absolutely should have fired him day one. Was this a situation where the government had to figure this guy out? Like, who are you? Yes, and it took way, way, way too long. I agree.
And he was a little distracted by things like being impeached for nothing and all those other little minor issues. So,
what a time to do that. Kamji, member for 3 months. Evil. Hope for arrest. Jay is out there dropping 5 WDW Pro memberships. Thank you so much. That is, of course, as always, very, very kind.
Go fund yourself, Bob.
See, we don't have to fund ourselves, Bob. Jay is helping us pay the way forward and keeping those hamsters on the wheel. And note, we don't have radioactive pangolins here. Archer Merchant for $50. Wow, 50. Thank you, Archer. Irony of Odyssey is, controversies aside, Jeremy or Shapiro liking it, etc. At the end of the day, Nolan lost his reputation and legacy with a good chunk. Not just because of the movie, but the author attacking. DEI would never accept a male saving it. This is a great question for the panel. Is Christopher Nolan now damaged in any way, or is he just fine? And is it silly to even ask the question, given the box office? Maybe he's fine.
I think he's damaged, but I think he's also planning to go away for several years.
He said he's going to take 3 years off. So
I think the real question is, does the damage stick? I think by the time he comes back, if he decides to come back, there's a possibility that we'll be past it and nobody will think about it. It depends on how long it is until his next project and what that next project is.
We've got Paul 12,000 up there for 5, says, Weird Al's TMZ comes to mind. We'll have to add a line about Fauci fixing headlines instead of just diseases, just because he wants to be on TMZ. That's right. It's a great parody. Retromeister for 5. Fauci started with the AIDS and swine flu scares and then came back with a vengeance with COVID-19. Yet Tony Fauci works with Bill Gates and the World Economic Forum's Klaus Schwab. That's right. Swab with Schwab. Shockwave Rider is dropping 400 joules for the Eggle. Thank you, Shockwave. Archer Merchant for 5. As far as Fauci, he's cooked. It's just a matter of time. The dam is wide open now, and his refusal invites a look again on everything procedural.
Yep.
We shall see. Great U.S. treasure hunt for 5. Remember when they said the vaccine would be 1 or 2 shots, then you're done? Then booster 1, then booster 2, then booster 3, then booster 4. Well, part of that's because turns out we were all testing. We were beta testing epigenetic recoding. And by the way, there's going to come a day when there's lots of great stuff coming from epigenetic alterations. But beta testing it on the world in such a hurry, I don't know. Silent Watcher for 5 says signs were there that COVID was a farce since the beginning when they were saying 2 weeks stores were buying plexiglass and other investments. Yeah. I will say that in the beginning, when we got the reports out of Italy that it was like a 9% morbidity rate, like I get that there was a freak out. I don't hold anybody, well, except for those who knew, like Fauci, like, oh, we were a part of this. But I don't hold anybody normal in any kind of criticism in those first few weeks and months. I think everybody was trying to get their head around what the heck this is, and people were listening to what turns out to be frauds. So I don't hold average people and normal people in government accountable for the beginning of it. As Lorna said, it's when they turned into dictators. It's when everybody knows how viruses work. Everybody knows that the way you stop a virus is you go outside because it dies in the sun. Like that's how every one of these things works. So when they started filling in the skate parks and telling you can't go on the beach, that's when I said, we got a problem here.
When they said you can't go to church, but you can demonstrate for Black Lives Matter.
Right.
Hey, what's wrong with that picture?
We got a virus like the cold. It's more deadly. What we need you to do is stay inside in your very populated, apartment buildings and just sit by the vent, baby. Like that. What are we doing then? Michael Steele for 5. Nolan's going to get a check for $80 million or more. He doesn't care what people think. Maybe, but I think he's got so much money that he must care about something. Otherwise, he could just completely retire. Maybe. By the way, Packing Protons, we want to say thank you again for the 111 at the beginning of the show. You have helped us out so much. And Lauren, Packing is a big fan of yours.
Yes.
Yes. You and your bearded ways, you.
He's as big a fan of yours as Kim Kardashian was of Dr. Fauci, if you want to consider that.
Oh,
you know that saying, with friends like these, who needs enemies?
Aw.
The man has subjected me to the MST3K experiment and is now shaving my head.
Well, Lauren, what if I told you I've got something to make you feel better?
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay. Go ahead, read, Lauren.
I did hear about this. This man's my hero. I do like this guy.
Go ahead, read it, Lauren. Read it for the crowd.
Man kicked out of IMAX theater after bringing a fully functioning crock pot of chili and selling bowls in the back row.
I don't know if it's real.
I hope
it
is.
I hope it is.
Yeah.
And I hope this is the man who was selling the chili. I hope everything about this. I know it's fake, but I love every part of it.
At least he'd be bringing joy to somebody in those theaters that had to watch that movie.
Well,
Culture, you would bring the Fritos, right?
Yeah, well, first of all, he's offsetting, the cost of the ticket. So he's basically paying for his $2,000 IMAX ticket that he probably had. And then at the same time, he also was definitely going to add a fourth dimension to that theater for you. During the course
have
of
the aroma
the noxious emanations.
Wouldn't you love to be the next showing and the people who go back there and say, "Oh my what has happened?"
It's the pigs. It's Cersei's pigs.
They've been unleashed.
Smell-o-vision. Remember Smell-o-vision?
Hey,
Yeah.
speaking of smell-o-vision, let's talk about Halo, because something definitely stinks. It just might be time for Xbox, Microsoft to part ways with anybody associated with Halo. I mean, after they let Bungie go, they formed 343 Studios. It's now Halo Studios. This is an abomination. The level of woke, folks, we've never seen anything like this. Robert DeFelice, hang on. I got to get this right. We got to zoom in. Robert DeFelice, there we go. Or DeFelice. Xbox revenue fell 10% in latest Microsoft earnings. This is why they've brought in a lady to try to fix the things. She's the new one. She's in charge. And she's got to get rid of all of this mess. Geeks and Gamers reporting this. Marvin Montanaro. Halo Campaign Evolved faces backlash over race and gender swaps, Cortana redesign, game-breaking glitches, reports of unkillable female NPCs. I mean, listen. This is a remake of a 25-year-old game. It is a reskinning of a 25-year-old game. And they screwed it up so badly. There is no way these people could ever release a fully functioning actual game. And Demian is posting this, says, "I'm tired, boss." If we click on this, I'll show it to you. Here we go. Halo Combat Evolved. You can see one of the scenes, what it looks like. And this face here, this is a guy that originally created the game. He's a developer on it. So, it's like an Easter egg. And they removed him in the 2011 Halo Combat Evolved anniversary form. And now for this one in 2026, you can see they've DEI'd. So bye-bye to the original developer who, got the shout out, the cameo. Now it's been switched over for, woke reasons. We've also got, go ahead, Lou.
All I was going to say was that business of putting your own face in the game. Back to our previous topic, it could have been worse. Fauci could have put his own picture on the vials of serum.
Yep.
Which I'm sure he thought about.
They made Cortana. Here's the beautiful version of Cortana that we've had since, the game. Anyway, this is the new version. Made her just ugly. We can keep going with this. Let me show you some of the gameplay, okay?
Go back to that.
Okay. Here we go. Yeah.
That's why can't I think of his name? That is the guy who plays the Green Goblin in the Tobey Maguire.
Oh, William Dafoe.
William Dafoe in a wig.
Oh, that's poor. That's harsh even for poor Cortana. Let me show you how bad these people are. It's not just DEI, okay? This is, by the way, this is one of my favorite parts of the original Halo game. And because if you put on Legendary, it's almost, this is I think the third level. If you put it on Legendary, it's almost impossible to beat this. I mean, and that's what I loved about the original Halo. It was unbelievably hard if you wanted it to be that hard. And if you could beat this level on Legendary, you were Legendary. And that's why, the reason is because you defeat the hunters, you get pulled up into the ship, and you enter the ship, and then there are these elites who are invisible with swords. One hit, they will kill you. There's multiple of them. You can't see where they're coming from. Folks, here's what the morons at this studio did with this very pivotal part of the game.
Wow, this must be it. Yeah, thanks, Keys. Cortana already told me that they're using... What?
Hold on a second. I need to show you this because this guy's going to lose his mind. These geniuses put nav points. The game developers put nav points over the invisible elites that you're supposed to not know where they are and try to...
Oh, jeez.
They put...
I mean, I don't play games like this, but that's pretty obvious, isn't it?
Is that a toggle?
What do you mean?
I mean, can you turn that off? Is it like an assist?
I don't think so, because it doesn't appear until these appear. They actually, because so the other enemies don't have it. They actually put nav points specifically over the invisible enemies.
They also seem to be on the map, on the mini map.
Yeah, thanks, Keys. Cortana already told me that they're using... What? Surely that is the clearest example right there. Hey, watch out, Chief. These elites are using active camo, and then you walk through the door, and there's big markers over the invisible elites to tell you where they are.
Okay, so what you need to understand is when they built this studio, it is completely, totally, top to bottom woke. It is gender studies people coming in. More of this. Okay. Turns out in Halo Campaign Evolved, again, a remaking of a 25-year-old game. You can't delete the female NPCs, but you can the dudes.
This is ridiculous.
What the hell are you doing?
Oh, God.
And then finally, just to nail this home, just how incompetent they are. They tried to make 3 original levels, maybe to train them on a new game that they could make. They can't. They can never be allowed to make a new game. This is a cutscene from one of their 3 brand new prequel levels. Just watch this.
Here you can observe the true beauty of the Covenant. Our collective strength a reflection of each member's devotion. The tenacity of the Ungor. The cleverness of the Kigya. The Sangheili. Long our partner since the writ of union. The burning edge of the Covenant's blade. And the Jiralhane. What they lack in mind.
Okay. So Master Chief literally walks up to them. Instead of actually shooting them, it's just like, you know what? I would like a full display. Please monologue for me. Please tell me all about these guys while they do their little weird... Guys, this is amateur hour at a level
God.
I'm speechless.
But
I am
the
speechless.
People who made it like it. That's the scary part. They
Fire
sat there
every one
going,
of them.
"Oh, isn't this cool?"
Fire
Just like
every
a
one of
certain
them.
Doctor talking to celebrities. That's the same kind of mentality.
Culture. They got to fire everybody. They got to give Halo to Activision. Like, that's even crazy for me to say, but anybody is better than this. Anybody is better than this.
I think it's really concerning for the games industry as a whole. When you have the top tier developers that were with Bungie, and you show them all the door in favor of these vanity hires, DEI, ESG, whatever other elements were in play here that forced these studios to get rid of the qualified people of merit and replace them with people who clearly don't understand the mechanics of storytelling, let alone game manufacturing.
Basic narrative culture. Can you imagine this? Like the logic of this, that, hey guys, Master Chief is about to come in through the door. The demon, as they call him, he's about to come through the door. Could we line up here? We've got this special platform just for this. Could we all line up here just individually, one at a time, each one of you of each race, so I can monologue about you? And could you just slowly wiggle? Can you just do that for me when he comes in? What is going on?
You know what? These are the people who consumed machinima and thought that was the highest form of art. These are the red versus blue connoisseurs, you know. And I loved red versus blue. Don't get me wrong. Rooster Teeth made a wonderful product, but they didn't take it to this degree. This is ridiculous. Where is Schwarzenegger, or John Rambo, or somebody who tossing a grenade into the middle of this conversation? This is
I love
insanity.
that there's a brute. I love that they coordinated it. They were like, now this guy that can kill us all, we're gonna line up. We're gonna line up. Mr. Brute, we need you to wait until I mention your species. Come on in when I do that. Like,
yeah, and you know, and don't mind that I'm calling out your lack of intelligence. You know, pay no attention to that. It's like, look, I've been playing video games since, well, they had video games. So
congratulations.
Yeah,
you're a Pong man, you say.
I am indeed, and I'll say this. This isn't Halo. This is people cosplaying Halo.
Even the deaths of the guys are so stupid. I mean, like,
the physics is really weird here.
Why can't you eliminate the women?
I mean, I don't want you to eliminate any of them, but you know, if you're gonna, you can't have one and not the other.
Yeah, and what's with all these non-military standard haircuts?
Well, of course, that's the thing you would. Lorne, they destroyed Halo. This isn't even the full game. This is a 25-year-old game, Lorne. They didn't even make multiplayer. Like, they've got co-op. They didn't even include the multiplayer levels. That was too hard for them. These are babies. These are babies.
It's not that it's too hard for them. It's that it's just a cash grab. You know, this is the best example of, we're going to put 2 developers on this thing. We're going to give you the cheapest reskin we possibly can.
I don't agree with you.
You don't think so?
I think they threw like 800 people at this, blew the budget by quadruple. We know how this works. This is like as incompetent. They probably spent more time at the latte bar than they did at they were checking out the different varieties of bean sprouts.
You're not disagreeing that it's a cash grab, though. This obviously was not a labor of love.
No, it's not a labor of love. They hate the thing.
Well,
they hate that
love
which
themselves.
They
love
do
themselves.
Right. They love sniffing what comes from the bean sprouts from each other over and over and praising each other. We're so amazing.
Yeah, so they managed to bring it back around to the chili guy.
I was just about to say they had the chili, but
the world goes round and
used
round.
a little lettuce from Taco Bell. I think it would have cleaned around a little bit.
Is Douglas Nutter saying this is selling for $70? Is that right?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I was assuming that this was like a $20. It's like they're selling this for $70.
Our good friend Fake Wiz says that it's not worth paying anything for. Don't pay for this. And it's a glitch-filled, bug-ridden, DEI destruction of a franchise. That's what it is. It's just terrible. By the way, folks, Marv will be playing it on that gameplay, so have fun with that.
I had no idea they were going for full retail price for this. That's insane.
They went full retail, and they also went full
Canoider.
By the way, if anybody wants to watch how bad this is, later tonight after the Hollywood Backlot with Lou and You, Marv will be playing Halo Campaign Evolved on that game place. So, and Culture, if you could get the redirect set up for that later, that would be great to send people over to that game place.
You want to hear something terrible? I have no access to do that.
Well, we will fix that. We'll get it set up, folks. But Marv will be doing that on that game place late tonight as we daisy chain this thing on over to letting you see how insane it is, what they will do, what they will destroy. Impressive, J7 for 5. Lauren, I went bald last month. Keep it up. Join the bald side. We have chicken.
I also have chicken, but I have a question. You went bald last month. Did this happen all at once? Did your hair just suddenly just all leap off your head? Because that's impressive.
You know, never roll down the windows in the car. You just don't know what'll happen. Retromeister for 5. Hot take. Halo died when Marty O'Donnell left the series while Bungie sold the game's rights to 343 Studios. Halo is being rebooted for the normies. I think the normies are playing Fortnite. I don't think they're going to play Halo. I think you could get them on Halo, but you'd have to make good Halo again. This ain't good Halo. Retromeister for 2, we're currently dealing with scholars versus fanfics.
Uh-huh.
I'll take the fanfics over what they made. Let's see. Donovan wants to know out there, how late are you making Marv step? Marv said he wanted to do it. He wants to see how bad it is and let you all see. And he's going to be playing the 3 prequel levels, which are just embarrassingly terrible.
They look awful.
They are. They're going to be awful. Unlike, of course, Culture, the hero of the night. Chili Man. Folks, remember, when you go see Spider-Man Brand New Day, don't hold back. Take your crock pot with you. The theater will love you for it.
You know the theaters are going to start selling chili now.
They should. I mean, they've already got it on the hot dog sometimes. Although I'm a coleslaw guy on the hot dog. I'm not a chili guy.
I remember when nachos first started in the theaters. It was at the NATO, the National Association of Theater Owners Convention.
Right.
And there was this guy who gave a lecture on how to put nachos into your theater. And he told you to go to a restaurant supply store and buy an old used hot fudge dispenser and buy cheap canned cheese and chips and a couple of pickled peppers and sell it for $17. And people did. So there you go.
You know, Lou, I was worried as you started that story. You said, I remember when nachos, I was worried you could say when, I remember when nachos were made. I was going to say, Lou, wait a minute. How old are you? Please go back a ways.
I ask myself that question at least twice a day. Never
Lou,
satisfied with the answer.
You're a spring chick to us. J7 out there for 2. I shaved. Lauren.
I've actually got news for you. He's not far off from the age when nachos were invented. They were invented in 1943.
No.
Well, I'm far off from that. I was born 10 years later.
I thought that nachos go back like hundreds of years.
No. I knew that. That was all,
Guess who they were invented by?
Who?
A guy named O'Malley or something, right? Right.
Ignacio Nacho Anaya.
There you go.
So they're literally his.
Nacho Anaya.
They are his. They're nachos.
Well, now, wait a minute. A nacho is literally just a tortilla chip, right? There's no difference. A nacho is a tortilla chip.
Well, I would disagree with that.
Well, why would you disagree with that?
You got to have toppings. It's not just the chip.
And since the Doritos were invented at Disneyland.
That's true, too. By an immigrant who was working and figured out he could put the spices on this stuff and people might like it.
Yeah.
Great stories.
At the great, I remember that restaurant when it first was there, and Fritos, Casa de Fritos, and they had this Frito dispenser with this guy Klondike, and he was like a little miner, 49er, and he would say, Klondike, send down another bag of Fritos, and this cave would open, and the bag of Fritos would come down when you put your nickel in. Those were the days.
Those were the good old days.
There's additional interesting information here. The event that precipitated the creation of the nacho was a group of U.S. military officers' wives from nearby Fort Duncan visited the restaurant when the cook was missing. Anaya improvised a snack for them using the ingredients on hand, and those included freshly fried corn tortilla pieces, melted cheese, and sliced jalapeno peppers.
Hold on. See, I disagree that you got to have toppings for it to be nachos. I think
necessity is a mother. That's all I got to say.
You can have bland nachos. Like you can have just there's nothing on the nacho and it's still a nacho chip.
That's just a chip. You wouldn't call chips and salsa at the restaurant nachos and salsa.
This is like saying that if there's not ketchup on the French fry, it's not actually a French fry. It's just a fried potato.
Who would say
it's
that?
Belgian, actually.
You apparently.
That's not true.
Freedom fries. I'm looking for the off ramp. I'm trying to figure out, whenever we do one of these things, I'm always looking for like, how do we get the oomph and then get out of it? I don't see a way there yet. If anybody sees a way to really punch the fun out of this, let me know. But I'm struggling with tortilla chips, nachos, and fine. Just Lauren, give me some patter.
Wrap Supreme.
Lauren, give me some patter. Let's go.
Whoosh.
No, that's not.
It's the best I got, man. You put me on the spot.
At least that's what I hear.
Wait, what?
Let's go.
Jabba, right?
Oh no!
It's a Sarlacc.
Star Wars Outlaws pre-order available now.
Guys, this is one of, if not my most anticipated game of the year. Anything that's got me going pew, 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 sign me up.
I gotta say, the concept of this is enough for me to go, I might even pre-order this.
By the way, the chat agrees with me.
I know they're doing it on purpose.
Every time I see that clip, I think, who knew eyebrow pencil would be a major component of online influencing?
Oh, clearly. 74% say right now that yes, toppings are necessary for a nacho to be a nacho.
I agree.
I just want you all to sit with this and understand. I know what you're up to. You're trying to give this guy a win. I know what this is. There is no food on earth where the topping decides what the food is. There's just this, like a pizza is a pizza, whether it has cheese or pineapple, it's still a pizza.
If you had just the dough that was baked without any tomato sauce or cheese or anything else, is it still a pizza?
It's a naked pizza.
It's a focaccia.
It is not. You're being ridiculous.
It's a cracker.
Yeah, it's a tortilla. But look, let's be honest about it. You can't have a cheeseburger without cheese.
True.
Therefore, your logic is flawed.
I don't think so. The Hey Stuff for 5. I'm getting out of this as fast as I can. I'm stuck and there's no way out of this. They're going to beat me with logic, and that's the worst way to lose. The Hey Stuff for 5. I heard half the reason they made this one was to get a practice run in on making a Halo game in Unreal.
They're totally toast.
They lost big time, I would say. The studio's over. Like, that's how bad this went.
Halo 4 Infinite cost them like $600 million to make. So
imagine making a game like you're just remaking it. You're just reskinning it, and you do it so badly it's going to end your studio. Like, that's impressive. Juliet for 2, that game plays on at 11:15 p.m. Eastern tonight. They may stream over Hollywood Backlot with Lou and you a little bit. That may be a mistake. But we'll get that fixed in just a few. We've got Pam Impson for 10 jewels. It's a floating heart. Thank you so much. Deeple for 2. Pro, when are you going to stream on alt platforms? Well, we're on X. We're over here. We've got Rumble. And very soon we're going to be on a lot of places like Spotify and that sort of stuff. We may not be as engaged on Rumble, but just know that partly what we're trying to do is make sure we have the biggest presence we possibly can on places like X, because we think that's where people will be next.
I have to say he can't do it until he gets a septum ring.
No. We're gonna create a brand new Linux platform just for videos. Septum ring not required.
If you get nacho cheese in your septum ring, is that a problem?
That's a big problem. It's a big problem. But the world will smell great. I would just like to say too, folks, we are really big on MySpace. Nobody's there anymore, but we're great. We're on every top 5 place. Retromeister for 5, look it up if you can, but I saw a rumor that Kevin Smith is back for more He-Man stuff and possibly involved in a crossover between He-Man and She-Ra.
Read that again. It doesn't work.
I'm not going to happen.
Something about a crossover between He-Man and She-Ra that verges on the R-rated, let's just say.
I would say that would result in little He-Ras.
They're related.
Doesn't matter. Crossover.
So were Luke and Leia.
Yep. You know how it goes, Lauren. There's not a lot of options in Castle Grayskull.
All I'm going to say is that Kevin Smith better not be involved. And
it's like the British monarchy. It's hard to believe, but the Spider-Man box office projections are going up. We already said this film is on the way, surprisingly, to me. I mean, I didn't think it was going to be as big as the last Spider-Man. How could it be? I mean, you had Andrew Garfield, you had Tobey Maguire, but by golly, it's going there. And this film was already going to be headed for second biggest film of all time. It's still not going to eclipse Endgame, but it's going to give it a run for its money. Here's what we know from Box Office Pro. Here's where it is right now. This number is nuts. Spider-Man Brand New Day could potentially score second biggest opening weekend of all time. We're only talking domestic right now. We'll switch to international in just a second. Look at this. I can't believe it. Spider-Man Brand New Day, weekend range. No holiday. This is not a 5-day. This is a 3-day. 280 million to 300 million. Unbelievable.
That's a lot of tickets.
That's a lot of tickets. It will outpace No Way Home at 260. It will outpace Deadpool and Wolverine at 211. This film will come close to Endgame, apparently, if this happens. And Spider-Man is without a doubt now the biggest, most popular, most successful IP out there. Sony has it. Sony bought this thing for a few $1 million. It is the greatest thrift buy in the history of IPs in Hollywood. But don't stop there, folks. Don't stop with the domestic predictions. We're getting something out of China. China. The Hollywood Reporter. This could be the ticket for Spider-Man to just dominate. It says Spider-Man Brand New Day swings to China's biggest superhero opening in 7 years. The film is set to earn more than $35 million on its first day in China. Local analysts projecting a full run total as massive as $250 million. It doesn't matter to us in terms of the money there because so little comes back from China in terms of the percentage. What does matter is what this portends for the international. So this is starting to now, everything is adding up, everything is lining up for a huge, humongous, tremendous, gargantuan opening and box office run all over the world. Panel, whoever wants to start us off on this one, This is surprising to me. I thought this was going to be big. I didn't think it was going to be second biggest movie in the world ever big. And I think it's going to make so much now that it is looking like it'll wipe out the Odyssey to some degree. There's just not enough money. There's just not enough tickets. You can't have these kinds of numbers.
And by its
every
nature,
moviegoer.
It's a broader audience. It just is.
Right.
Spider-Man will do whatever a spider can.
Spider-Man. Spider-Man. He's a Spider-Man. Culture, your thoughts.
I'm not surprised. Spider-Man's going to be the biggest movie of the year. I think that because it will complete its run within 2026, and the film, the Avengers film, won't. By the time its final box office comes in, it'll stretch into 2027. So I'm pretty confident to say that Spider-Man's going to beat the pants off of almost everything else. And in here, we're skipping over Dune 3, which is going to bump up against other films as well. This is going to be interesting. But I'm very much looking forward to a $300 million, opening. A $500 million global opening. I think we're going to see amazing things from Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. You're going to stay with that.
Yeah, I love Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what I would say about this film is I would love to know what you guys think about it. I just don't think there are enough people. I don't think there's enough cinemas. I don't think there's enough screens that if it's making this kind of money, that the Odyssey stays where it is. There are folks out there saying, "Pro, you just want to be negative, and you're going to be proven wrong, and Christopher Nolan's going to win out." And it's like, I don't know how we can have this kind of bandwidth for a movie to perform this way and still have room for anything else to exist. Like, I think everything else gets wiped. This is like a tsunami. It is a tsunami of Spider-Man, and it's just going to wash everything out. Cinema owners are going to love it. They're going to be trying every way they can to get every screen they can turned onto this thing. I don't know. What do you guys think? Any chance that the Odyssey holds a 30-40% drop like it did this last weekend, which was just crazy?
Well, you kind of pointed it out. We talked about the number of ticket sales. Let's just say that there'll be more butts and seats tied to Spider-Man than there are for the Odyssey. There's also more theaters that'll be running Spider-Man than running the Odyssey. There's also a slightly shorter run time for Spider-Man. And you continue to take a look at that and the fact that there's going to be probably a 50% fall off on the Odyssey this coming weekend. And at the very last number there on the article that you had pulled up, it has nearly a 50% screen share. With every other movie, it's 50% of all screens.
Right.
That's a lot.
Right. So the Odyssey then cannot have anywhere close to that. And that sort of starts to limit it. And you say, okay, well, there's no way for it to have the hold that it had. Now, all of that, go ahead.
No, I'll just, to add more clarity, it's still going to hang on to the IMAX screens for 2 more weekends, this coming weekend and the following weekend. But after that, if you are, an exhibitor trying to get the most amount of eyeballs onto your cinema screens, whatever PLF format you have, you're going to want Spider-Man.
Get that Spider-Man. Get that Spider-Man. Lou, I'll give you the last word on this. It's interesting to me that Disney didn't make this film, but this film is going to make Disney. And what I mean by that is Disney gets 25% of the profits because Disney owns Marvel and they have a deal with Sony to share their cinematic universe. So Disney's going to get 25% of the profits, even though Disney didn't make it. And Disney's going to be A-okay this summer based on this film that's not even their own.
Well, I'm just curious, and I'm looking at my local 14-screen AMC up here in beautiful downtown Hickson, Northgate. I had no idea some of these things are still on the screen. I mean, Supergirl, okay, but Disclosure Day and Toy Story 5 and Moana and Evil Dead Burn and Young Watch. I have to think that this is going to wipe a bunch of dead wood off the screen and show in multiple screens in a lot of
cases. Yeah, they got right. Anything that's in the way, get it out of the way for Spider-Man. That's going to be the
It's gonna not just end or shut down somehow the Odyssey growth. It's going to shut down a bunch of other stuff that's going to just get wiped out.
Without a doubt, ladies and gentlemen, it's bigger than it was before, and we were talking crazy numbers before, but here we are. Spider-Man is on the way to swing its way into the second place all time. Could it decline? Could it increase? Folks, we'll keep an eye on it. But right now, number 2 ever, all time, that's where Spider-Man, not Spider-Man, whatever that is, culture, is going. Ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to have on the show right now Marty O'Donnell. He's running for Congress in Nevada. He is the composer extraordinaire of your favorite games out there, including, of course, Halo. And Marty, your music, I'm sure, is featured in Campaign Evolved. Did they refresh it? Is it the same? What's going on there?
I don't have it, and nobody asked me about it. So I'm all I know is what I've seen on clips on YouTube. So from what I can tell, it's my recordings from whatever that
composer,
was.
Not consultant, eh?
25 years ago. So yes, recordings I made 25 years ago. Still working.
So Marty, I want to ask you about this.
Did you guys already talk about Halo? I know I'm late to your show, but
we talked about it a little bit, but I want to get your thoughts on how is it possible? And I don't know if you have connections with the people who made this at all. Maybe you have some friends still working in Halo to some degree, but how is it possible to try to remake a 25-year-old game and really only half of the 25-year-old game and get it this wrong? I mean, I don't know if you've seen this clip where they sit and monologue like, hey, Master Chief, come on in here. We get all our species lined up and we're going to tell you about them. I don't know what this is. I don't know who came up with any of this. It's terrible. How?
Well, like I said, two things, two disclaimers at this moment. I haven't played. I don't have it. I haven't played it. I know nothing except what I've seen so far online. And I've had some friends who've told me what they think and what they've seen. I haven't personally experienced it. And I know that they never called me over the last 4 years to ask for my input. Like, what do I think about doing this or that? Turning left, turning right. And I don't think they have talked to anybody who was on the original Halo development team. I'm pretty sure they have talked to absolutely no one. So it wouldn't surprise me if potentially maybe some missteps have happened in this game.
Marty, let me show you another clip, and we'll see if we can get your thoughts on it. It's a black screen right now, but hang on, folks. DEI is about to descend upon us.
That's my music. I recognize that.
Repurposed.
It's a new scene. Oh, here we go.
Nice work.
Thanks. Spartans aren't the only badasses in the UNSC. So, did you take out the Prophet?
the voice acting. So, did you take out the Prophet? This is Girl Boss. I think that's her official name in the game. She's Girl Boss.
This is Girl Boss with a scar on the face.
Sits on a throne of hunters and lets Master Chief know the work's been done when he gets there. So he never needed to get that weapon. Now this is one of the prequel missions that people are just mocking. Marty, there's so much wrong. So I don't know what else to say. This is a non-major character.
Yeah, I was talking about this before. I mean, we had a diverse cast in Halo 1. I did the casting. I sat with the script writer, and and other folks on the team. We talked about characters we wanted in the game, and we had sort of made a decision back 25 years ago that we thought, well, if we had female Marines, maybe the players might be weird. Like the players, which we knew were going to be mostly guys, because that's what it was at the time. Mostly guys were playing these games and mostly guys were making these games. And we thought, well, we sort of didn't want to see women getting blown up and burning in plasma and, all sorts of weird things. So we had all the women be the pilots and so we had a bunch of women pilots. As a matter of fact, I think the tradition in Halo was that the pilots were always women. We ended up having female Marines in Halo 2, 3, ODST, and Reach. So we changed that up later. But yeah, it looked like there were actually 3 female ODSTs and 2 male ODSTs, which seems a little on the nose for...
Well, good news, Marty. They solved one of the problems by not allowing you to kill the female characters. So
speaking of which,
they just made them unkillable.
There you go.
Marty, from the first part of the game, there was an Easter egg where you could go rogue once you were handed the pistol at the very beginning of the game. And did you guys plan that out as an Easter egg? Like, was that a fun thing you did at the end?
Let me tell you exactly. See, it's funny. Even though it's 25 years ago, I'm old enough that it doesn't seem like that long ago to me because of how old I actually am. So I remember exactly what happened when we were doing the mission here, which is the first mission of the game. And you had just been introduced to Captain Keyes, and you shake his hand, which was very hard to do everything was in-game cinematics. And we should talk about that in a minute, why in-game cinematics are very important to the flow of all the Halo games that Bungie made. But anyway, he hands you a pistol and he says, "I don't keep it loaded, son. You're going to have to find ammo as you go." So I remember as we were testing the game out, and I'm testing to see how the cinematics are working and how the exchanges are working, and we have now I'm Master Chief. I got a pistol finally, and I'm running down the hall, and like you pick up ammo just as you leave the bridge. And I remember going back in and turning around and going back in and shooting Captain Keyes. Because one of the things, the reason he said, I don't keep it loaded, son, is because we knew this very first time you would ever, in Halo, as Master Chief, the very first time you'd ever actually have a weapon, you'd be pointing it directly at Captain Keyes. And the desire to pull the trigger would be just unavoidable. So we made it so it was unloaded and you couldn't kill Captain Keyes. So you had to go run down the hall, and we hoped most people would be distracted by grunts shooting at them, and then you would just continue to progress through the game. So if I, not as a tester, but as a player, turned around, went back, killed Captain Keyes, and I went to the designer, Jamie Griesmer, and I said, Jamie, you know, you can kill Captain Keyes. He goes, oh, come on, Marty, nobody's going to do that. And I'm like, I just did it. A bunch of people are going to do it. And so next time I played the game, he had implemented a thing where if you go back and kill Captain Keyes or kill anybody on the bridge, all the doors close and your game is over. That is it. You will not progress in the game. You will eventually die. The Marines come in and shoot you, and you run out of ammo. There's no way, you can't pick up ammo. So it becomes like a little mini game. It was actually sort of fun. I don't know how many remember playing it this way, but you could actually sort of hide. You could time yourself. How long can I stay alive before the game is over? And I thought that was a brilliant way to figure that thing out. And if you did it on Legendary, I think Jamie had a special room that would open up. And as you died in that special room, there was a sign on the ceiling that was a little homage to his girlfriend. It's called the Meg. It's called the Meg. His girlfriend at the time was Meg. So anyway, my point is, I have no idea if you could still get the Meg Easter egg in this game, but we understood what people were going to do. So the fact that Captain Keyes gives you a loaded gun right at the beginning seems like you're asking for it. I don't know what happens. Is the game over for you?
Well, first, there's no way I get out of this now without saying a comment and a question to you.
Sure.
Then we'll play the video. The comment is, I remember going back and doing this 25 years ago around Christmas Day. And I remember...
You're just a little kid, too.
Little guy, little pro. I remember, in fact, I remember that I was learning how to use dual thumbsticks because this was a new thing. Anyway, I was coming from Sega Dreamcast at the time in terms of like controllers.
The whole beginning of the game is you running down the hall. We wanted you to learn how to like duck. We wanted you to learn how to like use dual thumbsticks. So the look, turn, the mouse, keyboard, analog into an actual Xbox controller,
right? Would be the Duke controller, which we were holding like this at the time,
of course, especially if you were 5 years old. Yes. I still love the Duke, but go ahead. Oh,
I do too. I wish there was one that they had made. We're sidebarring. Okay, so when I did that, I remember thinking, this is genius. These guys actually really, really care about the game, because most games would have put a wall behind me, and instead I went back and then they locked me in with a wall. This is awesome. They really thought of this.
Mm-hmm.
So the question I have for you then, was that even subconsciously the breeding ground for the idea for what you did in Halo Reach eventually to end Bungie's time with Halo?
It was a little bit. I remember when we got to the Reach era, we knew that the ending of Reach, and I've talked about this before, but we knew that the ending of Reach was going to be the death of Noble Six, your character. And we knew at that point, I remember talking to the guys, and I wasn't the only one saying this, but I remember saying stuff like, look, guys, if everybody who's played Halo 1, Halo 2, 3, ODST, and Reach, they've died thousands of times already. And we never wanted to make a big deal out of any player's death. That's why as soon as you die, there's no game over screen. Do you want to continue? Nothing that calls attention to the fact that you just failed. We allow you to die in every Halo game and instantly respawn back at the last checkpoint, so that in your brain, you have this continuity that like, I didn't really die. I didn't really die. I'm still going. But at the end of Reach, we had it to be the final thing, and we had to make you believe that you finally actually died. So it's funny. I was talking to Niall Sankey, who has sort of jumped into the fray here in the last couple of days. I had him on a podcast a few weeks ago. He was the designer of that final mission in Reach, and came up with a way of how we would make it seem after the climax of the game, when the Pillar of Autumn takes off and you've accomplished what you need to accomplish. How could we give you one final sort of epilogue mission where at the end of it you would actually die? There was no way to survive. And the idea that there was, you were going to time yourself. It did. I remember thinking this feels like the very first Easter egg mission in at the bridge of Halo 1. So yeah,
full circle.
I don't think we actually necessarily planned it, but all the guys who were working on it knew that that's what it was. So
okay, subconscious maybe at the beginning, but conscious at the end. Full circle. Okay, so let's go back to how terrible it is now, and how poorly they think these things through. So this is what we've been talking about.
Yeah,
there are now many females, and I don't remember there being female Marines and pilots and that sort of thing in this scene, but maybe there were plenty of them. But now in the modern version, folks, take a look at not only how we decide who can die in this game, but also, if you can die, the terrible animations. No movement. Oh, it's a dude. Oh, it's a dude. Oh, it's a guy. And the animations are they're just tremendous.
That's it.
So there you go, Marty. There's and you'll notice it doesn't play out like it's supposed to. It doesn't.
What happens
everybody
after
doesn't
that?
rise.
I'm shutting you down. Do the Marines come and take you out, or what happens?
They do.
Oh, okay. But the girl Marines just sit there, don't even look at you.
They're not allowed to die. You're not allowed to have a die animation. Yeah, for the females. And it doesn't play out like it's supposed to.
How does he keep reloading? You're supposed to just run out of ammo. That's the whole deal.
Right.
Yeah, that's another one of those little things where if they had just said, maybe 2 years ago, maybe a couple of years into their project, they could have called one of us up and say, hey, you got any ideas about how we should handle it? We're thinking of handling it this way. And we would have said, no, you shouldn't handle it that way. That's right. It's not that bad. It's not that. It's just common sense.
It should be a it should be a reskin of these things. There's another Marty we played earlier in the show. You remember the Invisible Elites?
Yes.
And that's the third level. And after we've defeated the Hunters, right? We go up the gravity lift, and in Legendary, I still have nightmares about that. But I did beat it in Legendary, and it was not easy. And
that's hard because they're gold elites, right? I mean, they're the
it was as bad as the Library on a Legendary, but. So
actually, I think technically, believe it or not, I'm just going to let you know this. I think the level Truth and Reconciliation on Legendary in Halo 1 was the hardest mission to complete on Legendary
because of the invisible. Yeah.
Because you had limited ammo, and if you weren't bringing the right weapons in with you from the ground, you were not going to survive that. It was a closed off arena, and it's not one of those things that we necessarily planned. I just remember that's the way it turned out. And, we would have quick discussions because we were very close to the deadline, but it's like, can you beat it on Legendary? And then somebody goes, yes, you can. Okay, ship it.
Go. I think it took me I don't know if it took me 100 times. It's been a long time since I tried, but it took a lot. So now in the new version of this, the geniuses have made it such that when the invisible elites show up, because they're invisible, none of the other enemies are like this, but because those enemies are invisible, they now have nav points above their head to let you know where they are. What's the point of them being... I'll get the clip. Hang on.
They have health bar things above their heads?
No. They have actual nav points on them. They also appear on the mini-map.
Give me a minute.
We never had a mini map. There's no.
Well, it looks like a mini map in the top right corner.
Culture's talking about the
radar.
The radar.
Yeah. Oh,
sorry.
They shouldn't. No. That's the whole point. They're cloaked. You're supposed to figure that out. I mean, especially in Legendary, you knew they were coming because you could see their energy swords.
Yeah, I'll give you guys that while I look for it. That's plenty to talk about. Is the redesign of Cortana? Lauren, who did you say this is? Actually, you think
Willem
Dafoe. William Dafoe.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe in a wig. Yeah.
Is that really Cortana on the left there from today?
That's their new version of
Si, senor.
Why? Yeah. Why? What? Why?
It's
You gotta have
the uglification of gaming. Come on.
Gotta have a strong jaw sometimes.
She looks like she has an underbite.
And a nose that got whacked by a 2x4.
Yes.
I was going to say, she looks like she's been punched in the face a few times, and it's
Yeah,
still swollen.
Take a look at Laufey from God of War. It's the same problem.
I'm realizing I may have this this video file located in another location. I'll grab it in just a second.
You don't have to find. You've already shown it on your show. I'm late to the party, so.
Well, all that said, this is very poorly thought out, and so Marty, I'm actually thinking now that what should happen, and I know you'll be careful about advocating it either way, but I'm not a fan of Activision. I think they should give Halo to Activision. It's that bad. It's that bad.
Well, talk about coming full circle. That would be I'm not going to say one way or the other. Like if I said, yeah, they should give it back to Bungie. As you know, I don't believe Bungie is Bungie anyway. So I'm not sure who to give it to. Now, did I hear that there was a lot of this that was outsourced anyway, or am I wrong about that?
Well, I'm sure it was.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sure it was outsourced tremendously. I actually think that Halo Studios, formerly 343, I don't think they have the competency to do anything. The fact that they can't reskin a 25-year-old game successfully. After the debacle that we had with the Master Chief Collection, which we released that 10 years ago?
More than that. I think it was at least 12 years ago.
Yeah, and they couldn't make a singular menu.
And by the way,
control the games.
When people say they want to play the original Halos the way the original developers intended it, it's not Master Chief Collection either. I'm sorry. You got to go back to the original, and then you'll actually see the little subtle differences between what we did, which we thought was definitive, and what people later on decided to do to it. So even the Master Chief Collection is just chock full. It's a shame to me that I'm hearing people say, well, I'm going to go back and play the original Halo on the Master Chief Collection. And I'm like, that's not the original Halo.
That's not it.
Is this bad? Is the new one bad enough that people are saying that? That's a shame.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of too bad.
Oh, yeah. What are your thoughts on the anniversary edition from what was that, 2011?
Yeah.
Was that when? You have any thoughts on that one in terms of, is that a faithful recreation?
No, I thought it was horrible.
It
was the lighting was bad. Now here's the thing. Now people will disagree with me about this, but like I said, when I can tell you the decisions we made for something as simple as, getting the pistol on the bridge and how we handle that, we thought about a lot of stuff, and we were very, very purposeful with having in-game cinematics. And the reason we had in-game cinematics is because we didn't want the flow of the players to be interrupted by fade outs, black screens, loading in pre-rendered cinematics, and then seeing a movie. We wanted you to go straight into every cinematic. The music would keep playing, the audio would keep playing, the background ambience, nothing would stop. It would all overlap, and then the cinematic would start. And as a player, all you noticed was you were no longer in control of the camera, and perhaps even your character, Master Chief, was in the scene and being animated. And then when the scene was over, we would hand it back to the player the same way. We thought that was, and we did that on all 5 Halos that we made. So for a full decade, we were very careful to say it's more important to have continuity rather than have this sudden upgrade in fidelity of graphics. So pre-rendered cinematics, yeah, they all look pretty, and when you capture them and look at them separately apart from the game, it might look really good. Blur Studios makes great looking CGI, but that's not what we thought was important to the game. We thought it was more important to the game that everything that happened, in your environment always looked the same, felt the same, and you had this great continuity. So it was all about the flow. So for anniversary editions and every other edition that's been happening since then, somebody over there has made the decision like, well, in-game cinematics is stupid. We should just do pre-rendered cinematics because everybody knows that's better. And it's another one of those decisions that I'm like, well, at least you want to talk about it. We can tell you why we made those decisions. And I've seen a lot of players online today and yesterday saying there's something that feels off about the cinematics, and there's something that feels jarring about the upgrade in graphic quality and the lighting changes and things that were, plasma scoring on the walls that were in the in the game weren't there in the cinematic. I mean, they don't even notice what it is. There's something that is jarring to the players that they feel like it used to feel. And it's like, yeah, because they made a conscious decision to go against what we used to do.
Can you talk about briefly, we'll step out of Halo 1 for a minute, because I've always been amazed what was achieved with the Halo 2 cutscenes, with the architecture, the hardware that was available. How much effort and how difficult was that? Especially, I mean, you had things that I think you showed off at A3 where Master Chief drags the bomb out of the ship and casts it out. And how difficult was that at the time to achieve that level of quality?
We were pushing, I mean, as you guys know, the Halo 2 crunch was horrible. And one of the things that was killing us at the very end was just trying to get those cinematics done. Once again, we were pushing all the technical limitations of the Xbox at that point. It was very difficult. We lost a lot of nights sleep, and most of the team was living at the studio at the time, sleeping under the desk and so forth.
And was that because with Halo 1, you started off developing for a different platform, and for Halo 2, you knew what you had, you knew what the hardware could do, you were trying to use every trick that you had, but from the beginning of development, you knew what your abilities might be?
Bungie always made the mistake of biting off more than it could chew. So we knew what the capabilities of the Xbox were, and we knew that we hadn't, truly figured all that out for Halo 1. We knew that there was a lot more we could do with Halo 2. But the entire first year of development, we went way beyond what the Xbox could do, or if we did it that way, especially with what we were using with stencil shadows, we couldn't have any sort of big battles, or we couldn't do the story. We couldn't tell the story we wanted to tell if we kept going down this certain graphical path. So we had to back up, almost start over again, redo the engine. We almost lost an entire year on the silliness of what we did the first year. But we still had a very, very ambitious plan for the cinematics and everything else in Halo 2. And I got to say, we came close. I think, it wasn't perfect, and we had some problems, but we were always pushing to try to get every last bit out of the CPUs that were in that box.
Well, I can tell you, I remember many, many friends going to Electronics Boutique, getting, or was it GameStop? I don't remember now, but getting the game at midnight, rushing to a central location, everybody having their Xboxes at different TVs, and all of us basically making it to the bridge with the tank in Halo 2 and then passing out. That was as much as we could do, waiting to wake up, to get to play the rest of the game. But
no, you were supposed to play all the way through the night and then not go to school for a couple of days. That's the plan. That's the plan we had.
We've got to say farewell to Ghost and Culture. They're going to start their show in about 10 minutes, and they've got to prep for it. Guys, want to thank you for being here. Tell the folks out there, what do you have planned for tonight?
Wow. I think we are focused in on the Paramount Warner Brothers deal, and the fact that it has to happen, or there won't be a Warner Brothers, even with the extra billions that the Ellisons are responsible for. At least that's my perception. We're definitely talking about that. We're going to talk about why you're seeing different people from different sides of the equation weighing in on this, a former agent and a theater operator. And then we're going to talk about Ian McKellen being surprised that what's his name is now Captain America. What is
Who
his
knew?
name?
Who knew?
Captain Falcon. Yeah, sorry. Anyway, it's going to be interesting. So those are going to be tonight's stories primarily, and we're going to go for about an hour. And Lou picked out a great jukebox for us tonight. It's a compare and contrast jukebox this evening. So I think
it's a big composer composing for a big director, and they threw it out and brought in somebody else. So you'll get to hear both and make your own judgment.
Now, Lou, before you go, I'd like to let everybody know Lou's Views has 3 new Patreon posts out there. Tell the folks out about it.
Well, one is sort of political, one is sort of humorous, and one is something in between. So I've got a little something for everybody, and Lou's Views is where I pontificate briefly, but hopefully entertainingly and shortly. And you can be a part of it. You can join on up at Patreon at Lou's Views.
There you go. All right. We'll see you guys in just a few. In fact, in just about 10 minutes. So Go get them, guys.
Good night, everybody.
See you.
All right. Folks, let's hit these super chats. And some of these are addressed to Marty. Mr. O'Donnell, by the way, this whole Paramount deal, you might be able to get Paramount, Skydance, Warner Brothers, stop by Nevada. Californian doesn't seem to like them too much.
Oh, that'd be good. We'll give that a shot.
There you go. I mean, why not get some more of the economy?
Skydance is part of this too. That's I don't know anything about this deal. That sounds great.
So Paramount is already has Skydance. They purchased Warner Brothers, but the Ellisons, who own that company, the Hollywood elites and California government officials don't care for them because they're centrists and they've played nicely with the Orange Man. They also hate Barry Weiss, and they'll get control of CNN. So they're doing everything they can to make their lives a nightmare and this buyout be delayed. And so we'll see where they go. But
I will try to get them into my district. That sounds perfect for me.
There you go. Michael Steele for 2 says, my neighborhood theater has 30 screenings tomorrow, talking about Spider-Man. This is going to be an insane film and it's going to be hard to get tickets. So get ready for that. Zen Wookie, member for 5 months. It's a spider. Nami. Thwip, thwip. Thwip? Lauren, is this like when we get the sound typed out for Wolverine's claws and I don't know what I'm supposed to do? Am I supposed to pew, 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 pew? Like
it's thwip and then snikt for Wolverine.
Snit, you say?
Snikt, S-N-I-K-T.
Oh, well, good, because I think what I said was a pejorative. Kamchi for 5. Heresy, I say. Heresy. The remake is a false game that tries to hide as an even cult like the UN, turning Europe into a wasteland run by an evil government. Well, okay, then. I think we've got an opinion on that. Silent Watch for 5. One thing I found out through modding games, there are always players who want to break the rules and the game. They'll do whatever you allow them to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, a lot of people had a lot of fun trying to break out of places like Blood Gulch. And then in Halo 2, what's the city, the giant 16-player city multiplayer level that's got the little skyscraper with the construction bar?
Yeah.
I can't think of the name of it now, but man, people tried to get out of there.
I saw somebody actually did, way back in the day, somebody brought me on a streaming show that they had, and we did a co-op thing, and it was an live interview with me, and they put me in one of the vehicles, and then they drove up and got out of the map and on top of this thing with me. And I just still remember how cool that was. I'm like, who figured this out? And of course, since then, there's so many fun tricks that have been done in the Halo universe that I love. And we would have soft barriers and stuff that would maybe push you back. I mean, for example, on Halo 1, if you drove the Warthog into the ocean, you could just drive it forever. We never stopped you. And apparently you can't do that anymore. So, I mean, it was boring. You couldn't find anything. There was no magic prize under the ocean, but we didn't stop you. If you wanted to do that, we're like, sure, go ahead, do it. We never wanted to kill you for exploring.
This is the problem with people. I mean, taking away the fun of driving 7 hours on a blue texture. I mean, what else could you do with your life? Donald J. Skywalker, member for 10 months. Do you think the MCU hurt Spider-Man's movie franchise? Do you think the MCU? Clearly not. I don't think so. I think Spider-Man is its own thing, and the MCU can be whatever it is, and people clearly just don't care. Blah, 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 blah for 5. Contribution for the goal and for getting me to laugh out loud over, nah, it was horrible. With casual ease from Marty. There you go. Folks, we're 4 away from the Super Chat Golden Knight. And if we hit it, we'll give you our predictions on Spider-Man the box office. Blah, blah, blah for 5 says, another for the gold. Thank you. Blah, 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 blah. Sean, formerly John, for 199. Marty, I love the Halo TV show. This is not going to go well. Your feelings about it, Marty, I will step aside while you...
Sean, former artist, with a name like that, I honestly don't believe you're serious. I don't believe you love the Halo show, because I don't think it's possible to love the Halo TV.
You know what? This guy gets the internet.
I might be old, but I get the internet. Okay.
J7 for 5. Love Halo story. Watched all of it. Sorry, but I can't stand playing the first person anything. Third person all the way for me. Got collector's edition of 3. Interesting. I've never thought about playing Halo in third person. Was that a consideration in the beginning, maybe?
Oh yeah, the first version of Halo was a top-down strategy game with multiple Master Chiefs and Marines, and then we decided once we had the Warthogs working as vehicles, we were able to bring the camera in and do a third person driving the Warthog, and that was so much fun. And we started playing multiplayer that way. That we ended up doing third person multiplayer. And that was a lot of fun. So we thought, okay, Halo is going to be a third-person shooter. And then it wasn't much longer after that we said, no, first person when you're running around, third person when you're in vehicles. So it's funny, when people say Halo is a first-person game, I always feel like, well, not really. It's a first-person shooter unless you're in a vehicle. And if you think about how often you're in a vehicle in Halo,
it's a hybrid.
Yeah, it's really a hybrid. So.
Interesting. Very interesting.
If you think about Halo, when did we start having? I think Halo 2, we actually had turrets, and the turret is in the lexicon how we define things in Halo. If you're at a turret, you're at a vehicle. It's just a stationary turret. It's a stationary vehicle, and it's in third person, so the camera goes behind you. And then in Halo 3, I think we allowed you to break the turret away so you could carry a turret weapon with you. But when you're carrying a turret weapon in Halo 3, ODST, and Reach, when you're carrying one of those weapons, you're in third person. So I truly believe it's a hybrid game. So
I was trying to think. I know you're right. I had never thought about whether there are turrets in Halo 1.
There are not turrets in Halo 1. No.
Interesting.
Yep.
Boy, I have some sort of memory in my head of on a level like Truth and Reconciliation going up into one of those gravity lift pods, but it must be another level that looks like it.
No. See, we didn't call those turrets. They're those little vehicles that stayed in one place that the ground was shooting you at. Yeah, I guess those were officially turrets, but they were never sort of the breakaway turrets, or
right.
Potentially breakaway turrets. They were always, those were like stationary vehicles, but. Yeah, you're right. We did have those in Halo 1. Yeah.
The Hasta for 10 says, huge thank you to Marty. I still remember playing Halo for the first time at my friend's house, and it blew my mind. Your music is a huge part of my love for the series.
Thank you.
We've got Paul 12,000 for 5. I'll make it number 27. Can we find 3 more folks? Will it be another ode to a superhero moment? I'm curious to find out. And then J7 for 5. Halo Wars was the only one I played and beat.
Oh, that's the guy who didn't like first person. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I think that's great.
How much involvement with Halo Wars, Marty?
Almost none. Steve Rippey was the composer on Halo 1. It was the team that did Age of Empires.
Right.
And they didn't originally want to do, they had a plan for a console strategy game, which would have been in the mode of Age of Empires. And they wanted to do some sort of sci-fi universe. And Microsoft basically said, yeah, if you guys want to keep getting money from us, you got to make it a Halo game. And they lost their lead designer because of that.
Oh,
he was so insulted that he had to suddenly make a Halo game that he left. He's a good guy too. I liked him a lot. But those of us at Bungie were sort of like, well, yeah, good luck with that. I mean, we're not making it, so we originally, it was funny because the very original idea we had for that universe was a top-down strategy game. But that was back in 98, probably. So, gosh, whenever Halo Wars came out, was it 2004 or 5, something like that? Anyway, when Age of Empires, when the Ensemble Studios guys started working on it, we sort of knew those guys because we had made Myth: The Fallen Lords, which came out at the same time Age of Empires came out, and we were sort of competitors. So we knew that studio. We knew the guys at that studio. And we wish them the best of luck. I think I sent a bunch of music to Steve Rippey just so he had some source ideas. And I thought he did a really great job. He was sort of inspired by the Halo feeling, but he came up with brand new stuff, and I thought it was really good. I think the game was good too. So
yeah, I never heard anybody rip on it.
No.
It seemed to be well received. I mean, it wasn't groundbreaking, revolutionary, but I always heard people say that it did a good job using a controller to get that genre playable on a console.
Yeah,
so,
that genre on a console, I think, is tough. That's one of the reasons, one of the many reasons we've switched to first person. When we knew that when we got bought by Microsoft, I think we had already switched to at least third person, so we were no longer going to do a strategy game. But I think once we were bought by Microsoft in 2000, we decided it was going to be first person, or we might have already decided that. I don't remember, but it was. Making a strategy game on a console was going to be really hard, obviously, but making a first-person shooter on a console was not. A lot of people didn't think you could do it, so that was.
Yeah, I mean, efforts with like Quake had not gone so well on consoles previous to that. So,
right.
But you guys, you figured out the magic. You figured out how to make it happen. Okay, so Lauren, what is this? This is not a super chat. Why is this on the screen, Lauren?
It's not a super chat.
I have no idea. That's amazing. It's almost as though somebody had excellent judgment.
We're finishing this poll now. I am tired of this poll. I wish we had not created it. Marty, the question was, Lauren brought this up. Is a nacho chip without toppings still a nacho chip? And I say obviously. But the crowd disagrees with me. 75% say you must have toppings on nachos for the chips therein to be declared nacho chips.
If you're making your nachos with tortilla chips, just regular old corn chips, then there has to be a topping. Now, if you're pulling them out of a nacho, like hot, nacho cheese bag of Doritos or whatever, then you can still call them nachos because they've got some sort of coating on them. But no, you can't just have a straight up corn chip and call it a nacho chip. That doesn't work.
What would you call that coating, Marty?
Nacho coating?
No, it's a topping. It's a topping on the chip.
That is not a topping.
I will call it a topping.
We are not declaring spice dust toppings now. This is.
Do they just come naturally on the chip?
No,
are they spontaneously generated?
We have arrived at the point where we're declaring particulates. Good grief. Teddy D for $4.99. Marty, I have fond memories of playing Halo with my fellow firefighters while working at the fire station. It helped us decompress in between runs.
So great. I actually love hearing stuff like that. I've talked to a lot of firefighters and cops and military guys, folks at the front lines in Afghanistan and in Iraq that were playing Halo all through the 2000s, and that's great. I love hearing that.
Military guys really loved Halo. I mean, it was
really did.
Yeah, what a great gift to them. The Haster for 2 Pro has to be trolling with this nacho stuff. I think you guys are trolling. There's no way that the topping determines the item below. Paul 12,000 for 2, 30 reached, but after the timer expired. That's right, folks. And so that means, Lauren, your prediction, please, for Spider-Man.
Spider-Man will return.
The box office. Lauren, how much is it going to make at the box office in its entire run?
Actually, I have no idea how to guess at this because the numbers are so blown out just for the opening weekend. I really don't know. $2 billion to me feels like that's ridiculous. No, I have a hard time seeing that.
I'm going to say 1.9 billion, so don't you dare steal that from me.
All right, so I'm going to jump in on this real quick, but before I do, Pro,
Yes.
are two pieces of bread put together? Is that a sandwich? Is this argument been used before?
The substance is within the bread. That's not on top. It's not a topping if it's in the middle of it.
But
We
if
need to
you
have you on this show
It
much
only
more.
determines it's a sandwich is if it has something in between. So nachos are only nachos if there's something on top.
I
Marty
long
has
for the
become
days.
my favorite guest. It's like just all the time. Let's just have him on every week.
Could you hurry up and win this Congress thing so that you don't have time to ruin my topping argument?
I'm going to have time. I'm going to come on no matter what. I'll be the only congressman that's on your show ever.
Well, you know,
I
Fetterman may
would
have
love-
plenty of time soon.
I'm not even a resident of the area, but I will somehow lobby you to pass a bill that will recognize nachos
no.
as requiring
We do not
requiring
need.
toppings.
We don't need a
Okay.
congressional decree about this.
And that's exactly the kind of thing that should happen if I'm in Congress. Please, nobody quote that. That was a joke. Trust me,
Well,
everything's recorded.
Kamala Harris already clipped one of our shows with you in it. But the
Yeah.
great thing was, what you said in the clip didn't match the headline. People clicked it. They're like, I agree with Marty. So
Marty
it's like,
didn't say that. I
go,
know,
Kamala,
last time I
go.
was on. So this is good. Thank you for putting my website up. Marty for Congress. Everybody needs to go there, especially if you live in Nevada. And if you don't, you should come to Nevada just to vote for me because they don't check your ID. Okay. Once again,
More trouble ahead, Marty.
So when I came in, you guys were talking about Spider-Man open. Has it already opened in China? Did I see that on the screen?
I think it's just opened in China, and but those are not the actual numbers. Those are the projections right now. 30 million plus for the opening weekend, and 250 is what they're predicting for the total box office haul for it. Now, how did they get there? I don't know, but
So I have a good friend in Hong Kong who is a composer for movies in China. He's done, and some of the numbers of the movies he's scored are just blow away the North American market. So if you're going to start counting, if Spider-Man, which probably will, if the new Spider-Man movie takes off in China, it's going to double the box office for all these movies. Like, I mean, it's just gonna go huge. If a movie doesn't do well in China, it can do well in North America and Europe, and it'll be 900 million or something. But if it does well in China, it actually could hit 2 billion, believe it or not.
oh yeah, and these are crazy numbers. Just because I thought that No Way Home with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, I thought you really can't redo that, and it was so special. The fact that this might actually surpass that, looks like it's going to, just means that Spider-Man as an IP is crazy.
Is this a redo of the Spider-Man origin story again, or what is it?
No, it's Lauren. You want to explain what we've got coming up?
Well, it's sort of a reset of Spider-Man within the MCU because the last movie in the series essentially wiped everybody's memory of him acting as Spider-Man. So he remembers everything that happened, but nobody else does. So
so his identity is secret again.
it is, and so none of his friends remember him, none of his colleagues remember him. He's now down on his luck, Peter Parker again, without a lot of the resources that he formerly relied
So
on.
we're not Miles Morales, we're Peter Parker, and who's playing him? Is it Tom Holland?
It's Tom Holland, yep.
So Tom Holland is going to be a star in the 2 biggest movies of the year?
Yep.
Holy
maybe 3 if he shows up in Doomsday. But yeah, he is the biggest star in Hollywood now because of Odyssey and then Spider-Man back to back. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah. No,
and Zendaya, his wife, same thing. I mean, both movies. It's wild.
That's his wife?
Yeah, they married in secret.
I need to be more up on culture. I'm so behind.
If you're going to soak up all those California Exodus businesses, we got to help you out with this.
Help me out. That'd be great.
Chief William Schweiker for 2. Explain Master Chief. That is Navy as a Marine. Wait a minute. Hang on.
I'm not sure I understand this. This guy looks like so Master Chief is the highest rank in the Navy for non-commissioned officer, a non-commissioned rank that you can have. So that's the Master Chief. That's why he's a Master Chief. But he's in the Navy. So, but I think is the Marines. Well, I don't know. Are you saying he's not a Marine? Because I don't think he is a Marine.
I thought he was part of the Spartan project, and so they're a separate thing.
Well, except
in
that
UNSC.
his rank is in the United Nations. No, what is it? What does UNSC stand for? United Nations Space Command, I think. UNSC.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, and so I think the Spartan program is, I think, a Navy program, and the ODSTs and the Marines are the friendly AIs that run alongside. So I don't know what the deal is. It's the
It's been a while.
It's been a while. It's the Armed
J7 for 5. To clarify, I watched my buddy play, so I didn't see the cutscenes. Halo story was amazing. Thank you, Marty, and your team.
Oh. So he didn't just see the cutscenes. I see. So it was sort of like he was watching a streaming play of Halo, except it was just him and his buddy. That's kind of cool. I like it.
Take your Dramamine and play.
Yeah, but like, why? I get more motion sick if I'm not holding the controller and I'm watching somebody else play. So I think that's interesting.
Same.
Okay.
Justin Moore, the final super chat, we believe. For 2, a hot dog is only a chili dog when there is chili on top. So you're saying that a hot dog becomes a chili dog, but it's still just a hot dog. You just replace the hot with chili. This is semantics now. What is going on with us?
No, I think he's being funny here. It's like it's a hot dog is only a hot dog, but according to your logic, Pro, it's actually a chili dog, but only if there's chili on top. And that, no matter how you read that line, it doesn't make sense. But yeah, it's just a hot dog. It becomes a chili dog when you put chili on it. And it's not a sandwich just because it's in a bun. So that's the end of that. Don't give me this hot dog as a sandwich thing.
Lauren, Marty and I have been chatting now for about 2 minutes since your last input. And we'd like to know, did you spend the time with a great topping, like, this is it, this is the outro, here's the funny one-liner about toppings? Do you have it?
I got nothing. I was amused, though, when you said when you take the chili off of a hot dog that it's no longer hot. That was kind of funny, but I got nothing extra for you. I just know that the way that you construct food in your head is weird.
I'm going to think more about this.
Yeah.
We'll be back with more logic on toppings and nachos and all that kind of stuff, folks. Give a shout out to Marty O'Donnell. Go join his campaign as soon as you can. In terms
I'm
of
gonna have to go too, guys.
That's right. Folks, Broken Cow, I don't know why it's on the screen. Lauren, you're killing us. Hollywood Backlot with Lou and You is on the way. Tell Marvin we said hey, and we are out of here.
The mainstream media just can't understand how it is we continue to do what we do. They don't realize that we are powered by you, and you are...
1.21 gigawatts! 1.21 gigawatts!
Folks, we've still got decades and decades left in the can. It drives the mainstream mad.
Would it make you feel any better if you knew that what we're asking Matt here to do is a holy thing?
You see, we're on a mission from God. We're on a mission from God.
Now you're gonna put me right back in the joint.
They're not gonna catch us. We're on a mission from God.
So, folks, as we always say as we end each and every show here, and we mean it, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
Every time they hit him, he stood back up again. So they hit him harder. Still, he got back to his feet. Standing man.